Most people only try a keto diet as a desperate last attempt at losing weight. They're stupid. They're not the brightest folk. They're just like, bacon is healthy now? I can eat cheese? The keto diet is a weight loss hack. We'll talk about it, but there's 5 other reasons why I do it as a skinny bitch.
He's walking somewhere.
So we're gonna get into 5 reasons why I do the keto diet, and the funny thing is, these 5 benefits you might experience on a high carb diet or an omnivore balanced way. We're all very different. So some people get more mental clarity on fruits. It's like, oh my God, I've felt it in the past. On orange juice, for the first 2 days on orange juice, I was like, I'm so clear. 3rd day, dead. So in no particular order, the first reason I eat keto is for less hunger and more satiation. Now you may experience this on a high carb diet. I know people who eat high fat and they're just like, I'm never satiated, and then they eat potatoes and it's like, oh, finally. I remember back in the day, I was binging on garbage bag sized bags of cookies and I couldn't get enough. I don't know what was wrong with me mentally. I was just bored and lonely. I had moved out for the 2nd time and I'm alone and sick and I'm just eating garbage bags of cookies. I read David Klein's Self-Healing and Colitis book. He's like 97 years old, running on the street with a book. Is that David Klein's book? I read the book. I ate half a cantaloupe and I was satiated for the first time in my life. I was like, oh my God, what? I've been lied to. Didn't last long. I was hungry in an hour. But for the first time, I wanted to stop. Whereas every other meal, I was just kept going and then I stopped because I was dying of fullness. But in general, for most people, carbohydrates trigger hunger. Big fruit meals, I'm just never satisfied. Big starch meals, it's like my stomach's full, but I still want to eat more. Whereas the high fat is just like, eventually you reach it, it's like, I'm fully nourished. I noticed it first on the carnivore diet when I broke veganism and I ate my first big fatty beef meal. I think it was a brisket or something. I boiled it for like 2 hours and I was like, oh, that's so good. And I wasn't even finished, but I wanted to stop. I was like, what is this new sensation? I don't want to eat that. What is wrong with me? You just don't overeat and then you get thinner. That's the weight loss hack. It just satiates. You could make the argument that high fat is so hard to digest, that's why it's satiating. And I've made that argument in the past and you might be right. But bottom line, satiation hits on high fat and then you can go the whole next day, energy out the yin yang. That leads us to my second tip. These aren't tips. Hey, we got a free juicer and a blender. Some lucky person. Wow, you're getting healthy tonight, or less healthy. So the second benefit is digestion. For me at least, so much less bloating and gas. And things move pretty good. I'm eating maybe 10 fibers a day. 10 grams if it was a foot. And things are going fine. This is like maybe the first time that I've had a high-fat diet, and I am supplementing magnesium, but it's the glycinate, not the bowel thrusting kind, the citrate that just explodes out. I'm only taking a little bit, but things are moving good. And for me, on a high-carb diet, I'll tell you, there's bloating and gas always. Even if you think you don't have it, try a keto diet or even a carnivore diet, then you'll see what gas means in real life. This means so much. Do you have any idea how annoying it is to be bloated and gassy out in public, letting these sulfur gas bombs out, and you're just like, oh, damn it. It's embarrassing. I don't know, some men are just like proud of it. It's like, take that. It's like a biological warfare attack, and they're proud. That's not me. I'm just embarrassed and ashamed. And funny thing, same as the first benefit, there's some people that are just so much less gassy and bloated on a high carb diet. It's the opposite. So just take this with a grain of salt and find out which type of person you are. Some of us have the bacteria that can digest fruits and starches. I don't seem to. I try to rebuild them, but they die. Don't get me wrong, I've had moments on the high carb diet where I was less gassy, but still, compared to now, I would say carnivore diet is top of the mountain if you never want to fart again. You won't. Maybe twice a day Now I'm on keto, eating all this cabbage and onions, maybe 2 or 3 times a day. Like, I'm on carnivore level right now, bloating and gas-wise. That's fantastic. I'm also eating 1 meal a day, and I seem to be able to handle it no problem. This giant 3,000 calorie meal, 200 plus grams of beef suet. There's no way I don't have a heart attack in 15 days. Is there another countdown? That's rude. It's just rude. Stop the countdown. Just end it. It's not gonna happen, okay? It's enough. So if you're struggling with bloating, gas, IBS, colitis, I can't guarantee it, but I do believe if I had just started this way of path, that's not English, from the beginning, I didn't even do the fruit diet, I think I would have healed doing this, what I'm doing right now, or carnivore. It would have got better. I couldn't trust it when I got another flare. I was like, okay, we got to heal. I just went back to what I knew would heal it, but probably took longer than it needed to on that fruit diet. It's very irritating. I noticed it. I was having all these juices and fruits, and I'm like, this sucks. I'm having so many bowel movements. This is terrible. Coming from the carnivore diet, that was a nightmare. Well, there's free stuff. A chair, lawnmower, weed whacker, and a shelf. Looks like the video's over. Now, having good digestion leads to the third benefit, and that's mental clarity. It's funny, in the medical medium book, he says, you can be on keto with the worst, just most disgusting bowels ever, but you have mental clarity because you're running on adrenaline. You're debunked. Stop making me feel bad for what I do. It's a night and day difference every time I go to the high fat, even if it's a vegan one. I feel much better in the mind. Clearer, I can string sentences together longer. It's not perfect. I don't know what happens. Sometimes it just gets worse for a day or two, and then it re-picks back up, and it's like, okay, I'm back. What happened? I'm probably eating something. Who knows what it is? But for the most part, my mind works much better, and I feel much happier. It's not just mental clarity, it's also brain function. I worry about the future. On the high carb diet, I'm just so stupid. I'm like, why can't I, wouldn't that lead to Alzheimer's one day? Or something bad? Maybe not that level, but close to it, where it just, oh, where's my keys? I forgot my keys. I'll walk today. Where do I live? Where do I live? Damn it. I forgot the house. I just bought it. What will I do? I ain't about that life. I don't want that in my future. I want to remember my girlfriend's name. That scares me. I've seen that movie. What was it? The Notebook? And they forget. Imagine that. People go through that. I feel so bad for people. You're in love, and then your wife forgets who you are. Man, please don't ever happen to anybody ever again. Aliens, give us your Atlantic technology. Beam it to my brain. You got to take care of that brain meat. It's so important. And it's not just mental clarity. It's also mood. And that's what I'm noticing. I had good moods on high carb. It's not like I didn't all the time, but there were times where I was just so depressed, and that seems to have alleviated. I do believe the high carb cleansing and all that stuff helped. There's many different causes to depression. In my opinion, the big ones are heavy metals, toxicity, and then maybe hormonal imbalances and deficiencies. There's probably 15 more. But this high fat thing seems to cover all of them. The fats oxidize the metals and float them out of the body. You provide nutrition to the brain. Iodine seems to help. I do feel a little more alert. Not much. I stumbled. Oh no. But keto is known to heal epilepsy. Not every time, but it's one of the dietary cures that does it. It's like 50% shot. It's like you might get better, but some people do. And to heal that type of brain trauma with a diet, that's fantastic. Imagine what else it does. And I know a lot of people appreciate that mental clarity, and the fasting could be something to do with fasting and the ketones. And then you replicate it with the diet and it mimics fasting. The next benefit, which again, a lot of people experience on high carb or balanced or whatever they're doing. But for me, it only seems to happen when I go on high fat, and that is my skin clears up. Not quite to teenage girl skin levels yet, but I've noticed a couple things. Too much beef. I just ate a whack load of beef. I finished it off in vegetable conspiracies fashion. The troublemaking food, eat more of it until we get rid of it. It's never rid. It's in my colon right now. Someone get it out. Help. Oh man, the sun bless us. That's a hot flat earth sun. Somebody turned that one up this morning. Flat earth Santa. But why'd you do it? I think in my body it's just sugar feeds bad bacteria, and that leads to acne or candida type fungus yeast friends in my body, having too much sex. That, or There's other ways, like the beef. Why does that? It's not high in sugar, or is it? It's not, unless that's what they want you to believe. I doubt it, but there's something in it. Either the iron or the lysine, or it's too acidic. Augina said it was, so it could be. Chicken's not acidic, but beef is. You hippie vegans got it all wrong. Are they standing that? I want it. I want all that stuff. Point is, not just acne clears up, the skin just seems to not wrinkle either. It's like the beef fat just comes out your pores and then it protects it. Protects it from the sun. The reason I'm out here right now, they're having a party. Wow. I wasn't invited because I smell like a goat. That's one of the downsides. I smell like onions and goat meat. That's fine. Remember that video I did on vegan deterioration, that channel? And I was like, that's all lies. Look, it's all lighting. There is some truth to it. It does seem that the vegan YouTubers, they kind of crumble. They get drawn in. It could be that they're just so skinny. If they just gained a bit of weight, then they're not wrinkled and they're fine. They didn't age. They're just super skinny and they look like a skeleton. It could be that. But from what we're seeing, it seems like the high-fat YouTubers, they're plumpy, juicy like a plum. They're not allowed to eat plums because they have sugar, but they get by. Me personally, I've been breaking out since I was 14. That had to have aged my skin so bad. I don't know that I'll ever have the perfect skin that I see in other just regular standard American dieters. Just because I've had so much acne. I'm lucky not to have the huge scars, but there is redness and large pores. I don't know that we'll ever get past that unless I get a esthetician to just chemically peel my face. I might do it. Are you one? How much? But for the most part, high-fat diets are known to help heal skin. Like sugar just causes acne. It's not just fruit. It's not just detox. It's like refined sugar and Coke and cookies. That causes acne in a lot of people. So does dairy. So you can't just have any fat. Don't be a freak. Don't be a freak about it. That brings us to our final benefit, which again, some of you may experience this better on a high carb or a balanced diet, whatever you got in your belly. It's the deliciousness of the food. For me, I'm a salty guy. I don't like the sweet. The fruit-based diet was torture. I didn't like, when you get some good fruit in the summer, sure, it's delicious. These people are flustering me. They're talking and they're flustering. So sure, everybody loves a nice ripe cantaloupe or a mango, whatever your favorite fruit is in the summer. A little bit of it though, like one piece, and then you move on with your life. I never satisfied from a mango meal. I stop eating because the belly gets full, and it's like I'm bored. It's like, all right, enough sweet. We hit the jackpot, my friend. A bunch of old man clothes, ties, on a tarp. Are you believing that right now? Happy Canada Day indeed. I'll be back. So me personally, I love the salty and savory meals so much that I don't crave the sweet. If I can eat just a big hamburger patty and veggies and salt on there, it's like, oh, can I just eat this, please? I don't need the dessert. It's like, I don't know why dessert even started. Freaks, you're bored. But maybe for you it's different. It's rice and beans for you. Oh, you love that so much, or you love the watermelon. It's like, oh, please let me just eat fruit. Could this be healthy, please? Russian books. Gourmet vegetarian recipes. Oh, it goes so perfect with today's content. Oh, wow. The cinema. Oh, I'm touching the virus. The best of Italy. Wow, look at that. Das Groschen Kochbuch. Oh, I love that book. It's one of my favorites. Pasta sauce. Wow. Beth Pounding. See, yeah, that doesn't go with the others. That's just a sea captain's wife book. Obviously, you can make anything taste really good if you know what you're doing, but I find if I have too much salt on a high carb diet, I start swelling up and retaining water, whereas you need it on a keto diet. You have to have more. It's like, oh, okay, I'll have more. I just find the fatty meals so satiating and tasty. The fat alone is not that delicious, like oil, but veggies with the cabbage or beef suet, it's like on its own, it's very bland, especially raw. I had a tablespoon raw, wasn't very good. But you add it in with the roasted veggies and then you're just like, oh yeah, okay. And salt, Don't forget that salt. But I just find the meals taste so good and they're so satiating. That probably could have tied this benefit in with that first one, whatever was about the satiation. I get it. I get your complaints. File them down below and I'll delete them. Now let me know down below if you noticed I've been experimenting on you today. I've switched cameras like 4 times and lenses for my camera homies. Subscribe to Camera Conspiracies down below. First we started off with that Olympus with the fisheye 1.8, and then we switched to the Laowa 7.5mm Tony 2, seeing if there was warpy stuff was there. Then we switched to the 12mm Tony 1.4 at Tony 2 to replicate the Olympus 12mm Tony 2 to see if that's worth buying while already owning the 1.4. Seems stupid, but it's lighter and it's Olympus fast focusing. And now we're on the Fuji X-T4 with the 23mm Tony 2. And is it as stable? Is the autofocus keeping me? Why are we talking about this? I like to experiment. Did you notice it? So let me know what your favorite lens and camera combination was, and do you agree with my tips and benefits to the keto diet? Do you have more? Add them down below. Did I forget any? Probably. I'm more sexually in need now. The fruit-based thing is like, yeah, whatever. I could go a week probably. It's like, yeah. Now I'm more able and willing. Hormones are good. Good times. All right, we're done. Thanks for watching. Thanks for buying a Fuji Assassin t-shirt. Subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you on the next one.